Once upon a time on vacation, he would just go back home and have the opportunity to serve his parents, who were primarily teachers. Now, in his job as a teacher, from the very onset of his life or his career, he developed the love for books, and that has led him into the publishing industry. Well, our mover for today is Joseph Albert Quarm. Just before we get any details on him, let's just quickly take a slide on him. I'll tell you who he is and a little bit about him. So today our mover for the week is Joseph Albert Quarm. He's a Chief Executive Officer of Prof Quarm Publications. Now, his contribution to Ghana's educational sector, he's contributed significantly to the sector. A lot of institutions in the country today are using the books that he's published. His favorite color is blue and red. He has a dotted blue in there, maybe a deep blue. But his favorite quote is, the humility and fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and long life. So if you're humble, you fear the Lord, of course, riches, honor, and everything will come to you. And there you are in the studios. Many thanks. You are indeed our mover. Should call you Joseph. I'm sure that is fine with you.
Yes.
You prefer Joseph or Albert?
Joseph.
Joseph, yes. Okay. It's amazing you are in this business, and publication is primarily what you do today. Let me first find out from you. I teased them out that for vacation classes or the like, you were also teaching at the SS level. Can you just first of all dovetail us into how you got into this industry?
Well, initially, I was a student at Prempeh College, studying A-level biology, A-level science. I'm talking about biology, physics, chemistry. But then, my father was an assistant headmaster at Achwamai Secondary School. And those days, they were lacking science teachers. So, any time that we vacate, I'm talking about sixth form vacates before SHS. So anytime that I go home, I assist the school in the teaching of science, precisely core science, and that of biology.
It's amazing. Yes, so that was what you were doing at the time?
Yeah, as a student. I was actually assisting in teaching. So during that time, I had the interest of developing even sample question and answers for core science for the students that I was teaching.
Okay. Yeah. And that is amazing, because then I was expecting, that's why you took me off guard a little bit. Then I was expecting to find out, so gradually how this whole initiative launched you into the publishing business?
Yeah, when I finished sixth form, I was lucky to be shortlisted among the 6 students who performed very well, creditably, at Prempeh College to do our national service. So during that time, I decided to write a core science textbook, because it was only the GAST, Ghana Association of Science Teachers textbook, which was in circulation. In
circulation at the time.
But that was a government textbook. And students were urgent to have their own private textbook that they can study and learn alongside with their teaching notes. So I took that advantage of giving my notes in the form of books to the students. Interesting
hobby developing into a career line. And for me, one question comes to mind, maybe for our viewers, they should understand that this were indeed the early stages of your life. And we know the publishing business is capital intensive. Let me also let our viewers know that these are some of the publishing areas. These are some of the things, his products, so you can get pictures of it. But this was capital intensive at the time. So how were you able to sail through easily?
Yeah, just as I told you, I was organizing vacation classes.
Okay, so you're getting money from here?
As well as part-time classes. All the time. Because, just as I told you, there were lack of science teachers. So I took that advantage. And that time, I could remember I was even charging 100,000.
Okay, and that's the old Ghana cedis.
Now 10 cedis.
Now 10 cedis
per month. And
so if you have 20 students, that was quite an amount of money.
Exactly.
And then you never spent the money, but you also channeled the funds into the publishing business.
Buying A4 sheets and stocking them.
I have personally researched on you, and I know you're just not sitting here. Apart from being a brilliant student, you picked up some awards, and one of them, you almost had 87,000 pounds or something. I mean, I didn't get the figure right, but just help me. Yeah. I mean, did this also help in the industry, and how did you get this award?
After my first degree, I traveled to UK, and there I wanted to do clinical pharmacy, my master's in that.
Okay.
But the fee for that was very high. So looking at the situation, I decided, as why you have interest in teaching, why don't you go into study postgraduate certificate in education and join the teachers? So I did so. Because
you had already started. Exactly. You had mastered that already.
Exactly, exactly. So I joined them. But the type of teaching, the studies that I had was you have two routes, the full-time one and the one that you need to teach. While teaching, you will be given a mentor, your head of department, for him to assess you. After the assessment, he will write a report. Then you go and write a quality assessment exams. When you pass, there you are being handed with your certificate and you become a full teacher.
Okay.
So just after that, I started teaching GCSE O-level science and that of GCSE A-level biology. So while teaching that, in 2004 January, I won the best teacher of the month. And that same year, November, I also won the best teacher for the month. So when it came to our county, over there, I had...
This was in United Kingdom?
Yeah, United Kingdom, West Midland, Birmingham and its environment. But I was teaching in Nauticott College in Butchbury, Wolverhampton.
Yeah. Now you had teachers, white teachers who had from the scratch education in the United Kingdom, and you came up top.
They love me too much, I tell you.
The teachers love you too much.
Even the students.
The students also did love you too.
That is it. Because when I came down in 2004, 2005, there was a serious problem. They wanted to attack Dr. Morgan, my principal. That probably maybe is due to racism. That's why I've left the school. So they sent even 2 teachers to come here to do a lot of investigation to find out why I have left the school. But home sweet home, my brother.
So you have to come back home.
If you get money, you have to come and invest in this country for this country to move forward.
For the love of Ghana, you came to Ghana.
I tell you.
You mentioned 2004, 2005 coming back home. And now I wanted to know, because you had set up a small business and you had left and gone to the UK to further your education, and you decided to come back. But I want to find out, how was your business being sustained? Did you have family supporting? Did you have well-wishers keeping your business while you were even out there?
That is where the leadership role comes into play. For me, I consider myself to be a leader. Any business that I set up, I make sure in every department, I put a manager in charge of the place, so that one of them will become an overall boss in taking care of that. You see the point? So when I was in 2001, I set up my own publishing house. That is the printing press. Yeah, with an in-house editor, proofreaders, designers, as well as the printing itself. You see the point? Combined with the transport system that will carry the books, convey the books all over the country.
That looks like a well laid out business.
That is
what happened?
You mean?
Yeah, what happened with so who took over finally? Because I'm trying to get the picture while you were there.
When I left, my brother, my junior brother, the one who is next to me, was taking care of the business. But in 2004 when I came, he left the business because he was a pharmacist assistant and he wanted to go and work in the health service.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I came, I took over. And manage it. Yes.
So he had to move on. So while you were away, your brother was taking care of the business. But I can tell you on authority today that some of the works of publishers, I mean, the quality is nothing to write home about. I mean, you know, sometimes poor finishing and the like. How can this be surmounted? How can we work throughout and get that quality inviting? You know, the earlier speaker talked even about colors. You know, sometimes those alone can attract the reader or the juvenile who is reading the book. But we've not done well in that area.
That is why publishing is capital intensive. If you really want to go into publishing, you need to invest a lot, because you have to make sure all the departments work very effectively. For instance, when you come to our publishing house, we have the in-house editing department headed by Simon Obin, and Simon Obin happened to complete his first degree biological sciences with me and his master's also with me.
So even you pick the quality human resource.
That is what I'm telling you.
And pay them well, I'm sure.
Exactly. Even my designer completed here university, but I want to go to some of the publishing firms. They don't want to invest in
so people. Not like all graduates, but you hire people who are competent to run the business.
Exactly.
Should that be a hallmark of an entrepreneur?
That's what you have to do. You have to invest. You have to make sure you do what you feel you want. And if you do that, they will also give out their maximum best in order for your plans to come into fulfillment.
Not quite long ago, we had the issues with erratic power supply, and the publishing industry highly depends on energy to be able to run. Now, I had some interviews down the Nima area, those publishers on that line, and obviously they'll tell you, come look at us, we are being thrown out of business. Were you call it thrown out of business, or was your business badly hit?
Yeah, initially, because power supply happened in this country in 1999. We faced that challenge. So around 2007, something of that sort happened, and I decided no, I won't allow this one to fool me again. So I went in for a plant, a very big plant, to support.
You managed to save the situation.
Yeah, but again, the cost of fueling it, that's where the problem is also coming from.
It's also pressing you hard. Exactly. It's quite interesting. Now I'll move into a new area which most people are not taking advantage of. You have studied abroad and you know how online is making waves. I can bet you'll be thrown out of business if you don't follow this line anytime soon.
You think so?
Or you're preparing yourself?
You think so? I don't think so. Because in Ghana here, unless we have a legislative instrument backing this online publishing, I tell you, the people who will set it up will come sign a contract with you, but your royalties will be a problem.
So you think it will not work?
Not that it will not work, but it will take some time before I can join, unless I see that they have laid down legislative instrument backing this, where even if the person or the company doesn't pay me, I can take them to court.
Quite interesting and quite strong on that one. Well, so you would wait and see a little bit and watch how successfully it would become. Let me tell you about successive changes in governments and the interruptions in the syllabi, where this one will pick it up to 4 years, this one will pick it up to 3 years. And there are frequent changes here and there. You've been in the industry for some time. Yes. Does it affect your operations if government initially picks up a move that comes back to changes in the syllabi?
Sure.
How?
Yeah, because I'm of the view that before even they want to cause a review to the syllabus, they have to give pre-notice. Let's say about 4, 5, or 6 months before they review the syllabus. They shouldn't think that local publishers or publishing industry it's not part of the education system. we play a critical and significant role in that. You see the point? So before you do that, I'm of the view that you have to give us prior notice so that we can even suspend printing. I tell you, in 2007, my business nearly collapsed because I had printed almost 100,000 copies of books. But when the syllabus changed around July, basically most of the books are being purchased by the first year students.
So when it changed,
I had to, as a concerned and patriotic citizen, I had to discard everything, sit up with my men.
How much did it cost you discarding those books? Was it a huge amount? Maybe
yes,
currency has changed.
Yeah, because that time, one textbook was around 10 Ghana cedis.
Today it will be around 30 Ghana or 20 Ghana, maybe double.
Today,
yeah.
Today that same textbook is 30 cedis.
You see, so you lost a quantum of it.
Exactly.
Quite not quite good a situation there.
Yes. So I'm of the view that change in syllabus. I mean, Ghana, as they have standardized it now, this time the policy makers have put it down strictly 5 years before the syllabus is being reviewed. But again, if you look at unstable nature of our education system, 3 years, 4 years, you see the point. I'm of the view that if we are going strictly 3 years,
it should be so.
It should be 3 years.
And we should all agree on it.
Exactly.
On policy.
Because if you change it, you have to review the syllabus. You see the point. That is why, to me, as a Ghanaian, as a patriotic citizen, I feel that we must have a national policy that will drive this nation forward. I tell you.
You feel what? Make that point again.
We must have a national policy that will drive this nation forward. Because, for instance, we must have a national policy on education, that on health, agriculture, and everything, so that government comes, government out. All what they are going to do is to make sure that they improve the system and
follow what we've all agreed
exactly
on. All right, time is not on our side, but we'll let you give you the opportunity to look into the cameras. There's that young man out there who really wants to be like you but is struggling to be like you. You can look into this one directly in front of you. Yes. What advice do you have for them? Some of them are graduates just like you and they say there's no employment opportunities. In 30 seconds.
Humility and fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and long life. I'm of the view that the youth who are actually coming nowadays should make sure that they humble themselves, they persevere, they discipline themselves, and any business that they actually want to go and they want to go into, they have to make sure that they plan and plan well before they go into it. Plan
and plan well, and those are the final words of Joseph Albert Quarm, Chief Executive of Prof Quarm Publications. Well, Joseph, just before you go, you are a great and a fantastic entrepreneur. Let's just take something from the Entrepreneur's Corner, and I'm sure it will be good advice for you. But thanks for coming into the studios. Indeed, you are a mover. Right here is the Entrepreneur's Corner.
The future belongs to those who keep going, even when the sun sets. To those who ride the winds of change and soar above their challenges. To those who grasp victory from the jaws of defeat. To those who risk all to taste the sweet dew of success. To those who see glimpses of tomorrow in today's reflection. The future belongs to the ready business. Let's help make your business a ready business. Call Vodafone Business Solutions on 0800 10,000 or 0302 334040. Vodafone, power to you.
As an event organizer, anytime I have to organize a conference, workshop, seminar, or meeting. Oh, how can I forget? With the pampering salon, the elevator, the restaurant which serves drinks, local and continental cuisine 24/7. Ah, the cleanest and largest swimming pool. The 7 conference rooms ranging from 30 to 800 seating capacity. The 110 standard, deluxe, executive apartments and suites. The underground car park. And for my security, it's insured. And so is the reliable and high-speed Wi-Fi. All this and more can be found at Mensvik Hotel. Mensvik Hotel.